Alright folks, so this is a quick tour of the D-Link Share Center 2-bay NAS. So as you can see, and this is a little NAS, so a network storage device. I'll show you the back, so this is where the main action is. So ignore the sticker, that's my fault. That's where we get information about all the settings. But there is a little hatch, so I will show you that in a minute. That basically takes the lid off where you put your hard drives. There's the fan, which has been taken out, and this is where your power is, your Ethernet, which is a gigabit Ethernet, and your Kensington lock, and there's your D-Link. That's where it says Share Center, and here, I'll turn it on in a minute, that is where your LED indicators are, and also you've got a little pull down flap where your USB is for external drives. That is your power button there, this little funny button here. Click that and it will. And here, so we push it to the right, pull back, and the lid, which is just plastic, comes off. And then let's take a look inside. So inside, it's nothing special. We have a couple of SATA connectors there at the bottom. So obviously one's already occupied by the 2.5 inch hard drive. Again, this does accept 3.5. And then there, I don't know if you can see, is the Marvel processor. And obviously all the circuitry which makes this beautiful device work. And then you pop your hard drive back in. Obviously it can only be occupied by 2. Slot it on. And just push and away you go. So let's just power up this beauty to show you what the lights look like. And obviously this is the supplied Ethernet cable, your standard RJ45, which can handle gigabit per second. And obviously look, the power is coming on. And there's your lights. So that is just powering on the device, getting everything ready. And then there will be another light which indicates there is a hard drive present. It says left and right. So if there's a left hard drive in, it'll display left, and vice versa. Right, let's get to the software side and the OS of the D-Link Center. Alright, hello there internet viewers. Today I'm going to be giving you a review on a D-Link Share Center. So this is a NAS device, which is a network attached storage device. You stick this onto your home network at home, stick all your content on. This one I have is a 2-bay one, so the max you can have is an 8 terabytes using the using two 4 terabyte hard drives. You can then configure it to what RAID you want, or you can just have them as just another set of disks, so separate disks. Mine currently mirror each other, but I am going to get the Synology one. But I'm going to show you a quick review and show around of the interface for the Share Center by D-Link. So to get onto the interface, you need the IP address of your NAS. So there is software for Mac, Windows and Linux to use to locate your NAS on your network, and it will display your IP address. For the purpose of this though, I simply have got basically a website which does it all for me. I put my special website in, which you can get from ddns.com, and then it'll just, every time you type that in, it'll assign it to your IP, and then we'll go and find your IP, and then alternatively it will then get your NAS information. And then, as I'm showing you now, you are presented with this login screen. So this is your interface which you will get used to. This is pretty much what it looks like all the time. You can put your administrator one, or if you've got yourself an already login, which I have, Danny, put your password in and log in. It will then talk to your NAS, and hey presto, you're on. So this is the first thing you're going to get used to. This is like your home screen of your iPhone or whatever. This is your default screen. You can move these around. I will show you in a minute what the admin one looks like, because you do get more options. But for the standard user, if you set somebody up a user account, this is what it looks like. So you got your FTP server, you got your local backups,
it's 7
peer-to-peer
o'clock.
downloads, web server, and the Age Explorer. So this, when you click on this and launch it, this is basically like your Explorer, your Finder, to look through all your files and items on the NAS itself. If you have administrative permissions, you can upload and download, but I have actually got no permissions at all, so I will now show you on the administrator one because it would seem more logical. So just going to log out. Alrighty, so this is the administrating panel. So in this box you can actually include the applications used the most by putting them into favourites, right click on them. And as you can see, as an administrator you do get a bit more privileges. If you can see, this is your storage, so this is the devices, the hard drives you have at the moment. As you can see, I've got a 250GB one. I haven't used a lot of it because I've only just started using it again. Like I said, I am going to get a Synology one with 16TB, but that will be a later video. And here is your log. So this will tell you everything you need to know, what users are using it, what fan speed it is, everything in short. So again, we'll go to the applications, and it's pretty much the same as when you got your own login, exactly the same. And then go to management. So this is where obviously you configure your NAS to how you want it, how it looks on your network, access it from anywhere in the world. You have to set that up through this interface. So that's the setup wizard. So that is what you first get produced by when you buy the NAS. This is setting it up to your network, putting the name, putting it on the network, renaming it. Everything is done there, and then you can come back then and configure these as you please. So let's go to disk management, and here again I've only got one drive, so there won't be no RAID in there, but if you did, you can set the RAID types and reformat, and you've also got your rebuild reconfiguration. So if a hard drive fails, pop a new one in, and if that is enabled, enable auto rebuild, it will actually rebuild and re-image your drive onto the other one. So if you've got it mirrored, it will mirror your data across automatically. You can also do a smart test, so see how your hard drives are performing, if they're healthy, if you're on the blink. You can schedule these for automatic smart, and here's your schedule list if you had one, but I just do it every now and again. And again, you can do a scan disk, so all volumes, or you can select which one. And then we go to account management. So this is, like I said, this is where you configure your users onto your NAS. So if you've got multiple people in your house, you want to give them their own login, hey presto, go to new, set one up. I'm going to show you this one, see what you can do. So this is a quick brief summary of what you will be presented with and what you can change. So your username, I want to keep the same. I'm not worried about a password. Skip that bit. It's not in a group, and that's my privileges. So even though I have got read and write, because I'm not an administrator, I will not be able to use the management console. And as you can see, you can even set how many megabytes the user has on your NAS to preserve all your storage. And that's a quick summary. When you press finish, that is then done. That will do its thing, and that is it. You've got a new user. They can log in then pretty much straight away. There you go. Quotas. So you want to set quotas on people, or you can even create groups. So if you've got a specific amount of people in your house, you just want as standard users. Say you want to give them 10GB each. That's fine. As long as they fall into that category or group, they will have all that. Network shares, so create yourself a share. You want to create another folder, create another folder. And admin passwords, so that is where you can create your password. Network management, so this is where your IP and all the subnetness is, and your default IP gateway. So you can configure this if you want a static one, I use DHCP myself. And then you can have the link speed. See if you want to limit it to preserve your bandwidth on your net connection. You limit it to 100. And again, you can set all this yourself. It is all down to you. Account management, like you said, you have got yourself an FTP server. So if you want to set that, you fill in all this if you want to. You've even got a block IP list and a server status. Again, this is an iTunes server as well. So if you want to set this up as a server, you go to there, put yourself a password, and then you press save, and then voila, you have got yourself a working iTunes server. And then it'll talk to the server, do its thing. And hey presto, it will be done. You do get quite a lot of good features with this NAS, but it's not for me. It is purely for review purposes. I have got Synology one. And again, this is the system management. So this is where you configure your NAS, how it looks. So like language, you have to then have the language pack and then import it in, time and date, wherever it applies to you, device. So this is where you create the name of your, say if that's for Windows, put that, and as long as it configures the same as the one on your laptop, your network, your Windows network, it will work. The name of the device on the network and the description. System settings, you want to restart it remotely, restart it remotely. Restore it all to factory defaults, shut it down. System configuration, so you like the way you set it up, save it and export it just in case anything goes wrong. Idle time, so it'll close off after a count. So this is good for security, just in case you forget to log out. After 5 minutes it will log out automatically. And system temperature threshold, so if it gets over a certain temperature it will shut off. Power management, I have hard drive hibernation on to save a bit of electric, so enable that and it will turn the hard drives off, but the NAS will remain on for you to access. When you do access it, the hard drives will then come back on. Power recovery, if you enable that, basically if you have a pepper cut, it will then restart itself, so as soon as all your computers are back on, you can just carry on where you left off. And in the fans, you can set it on high, auto, off, low or medium. If you keep it on that, if there's nothing happening to the NAS, it will stay off. If you're working on it a little bit, the fans will kick in, but very quietly. And if it's obviously intense data writing, it will be high. On a whole, I've got to be fair, the NAS is not bad when it comes to the fan noise at all. And obviously this is your power off schedule, so if you want to turn it off on specific parts of the day, you feel free. Notifications, you can then have email sent to you regarding your NAS, who logs in, who logs out. Also a text, and here's your log information. So this will tell you all what's happened in the last however long you've had it, and a firmware update. So when D-Link do decide to release a firmware, download it, choose the file, it will then apply onto the NAS itself. In regards to NAS, that is pretty much it. I'll quickly show you now what it looks like. So to connect to it in Mac, go to Finder, go to Go, connect to server. That is mine, so I'll press connect. Mine's already on here. Go to Finder, go to D-Link, and there you go. Volume 1. Now is all my stuff. Well folks, it's been a pleasure demonstrating these today. I'll do you a quick video as well.